Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and The Last Jedi's Rian Johnson just pocketed $100 million at least for his mammoth deal for Knives Out's 2 sequels, which was bought by Netflix for $469 million. All right, look, this was worthy of breaking this down because this is a massive deal and will have ramifications moving forward because there's a lot of people who didn't get to get a payday on this. And Rian Johnson and Daniel Craig will. And apparently, Rian Johnson, the producer, Ram Bergman, and Daniel Craig are each opposed to, they're going to both, all of them, all 3 of them are going to walk away with the upward of $100 million each. Now, how does that work? So they have a $400 million budget. So you're automatically taking out $300 million for the 3 people, the producer, the director, and the main star who will be in both films. That leaves you with $169 million to make 2 movies. That's the budget. And apparently the deal over on Netflix gave Rian Johnson full creative control. And on top of that, the only thing that they had to make was the fact that the contingencies were Craig must star in the sequels, and each must have at least the budget of the 2019 movie, which was $40 million. Now, Johnson, Bergman, and Craig stand to walk away with upwards of $100 million each. Now, knowing this is out there, you'd think the cast, because they got a pretty good cast in the last one, you'd think the cast would want to be paid a little bit more. So $40 million plus $40 million, that's $80 million from a budget standpoint to make the film, because they don't have to go crazy with the budget on this one, even though that would be fun. They don't have to update it. But the cast fee, I imagine, is going to be higher. So you have 169 minus 80, which is like, that leaves you, the leftover of that is, because you minus 80 for 2 budgets. Let's say it's $100 million. Let's give it another $10 million on the budget. $50 million budget. That gives you $89 million, or $69 million rather, left to try and add to the cost of each actor. So, you know, they clearly paid them decently for the first film, and they could probably throw in another $5-10 million each if they really needed to, which is a lot to star in one little movie that you're, get to be in. It's going to be a well-written movie that they're probably going to want to be in. So, man, bravo to Rian Johnson to go from all the hate of The Last Jedi and then decide to go make a little whodunit in Knives Out and have that be the franchise that actually brings in the bread. It's quite impressive. So as much as if you hate the guy for what he did to Star Wars, man, bravo for what you just pulled off for Netflix. Now let's break this down. How did this happen? Why didn't a studio get a piece of this revenue? Let's break down what the Hollywood Reporter here is reporting, because apparently Lionsgate was supposed to do this film back in February 2020. They announced during their earnings call that the company will officially be moving ahead on a sequel to Knives Out, the surprise box office critical smash, an Oscar winner, directed by Rian Johnson. But on March 31st, in a twist worthy of Agatha Christie, came the reveal that Lionsgate would not be releasing the sequel at all. Instead, this was now a year later, March 2021, 2 sequels would be made by Netflix, which inked a dagger-driving $469 million deal with Johnson and his producing partner at T Street, Ram Bergman, both of whom were represented by CAA. Damn, they just made a lot of money too. Deal points were noteworthy, as I said. It gave Johnson immense creative control. He doesn't have to take any notes from Netflix. He just gets to do whatever the hell he wants creatively. Only contingencies, like I said, must have Daniel Craig. He must have similar budgets to the 2019 film. You'd think they would have increased the budget slightly, but they're like, whatever you paid for that first one, do it again twice. And then you guys can have the rest of the money. Other company that missed out in the sequels was MRC. Now, this is a Beverly Hills-based production firm that financed the first film. MRC is also a co-partner of The Hollywood Reporter through a joint venture through Penske Media. So there's a backstory there. Sources say that MRC had a 1-movie deal with Johnson and Bergman, the filmmaker and the producer known for the critically beloved, modestly budgeted thrillers Brick and Looper, and then Last Jedi. MRC rep said the company was proud to have partnered with Johnson and Bergman on the first Knives Out, and noted that the duo has always had controlled the rights to the franchise. MRC is a minority investor in T Street, but it won't share in the new deal's windfall, as its stake in the production company occurred after Knives Out was already made, giving it no part of that movie. Ouch. So they clearly made some money on the first one, and now I'm sure Rian Johnson and Bergman made money on the on it too, but now they really get the windfall, which probably MRC made a lot of the first time around. Sources note that Lionsgate, which had considered a solid deal in which the company had first right of negotiation and last right of refusal, all part of the negotiation safety within the companies, normally shield themselves from losing projects. However, they declined to comment, and Johnson and Bergman were considered big backers of the theatrical experiences, so this is sort of crazy. That was before the pandemic hit. Theatrical took a nosedive. Back end became non-existent. In January, with the pandemic in full swing and a hope for summer production start for the sequel, Johnson and Bergman questioned the nearer-term viability of theatrical releasing. CEA began shopping the deal, and streamers like Netflix pounced hard. MRC and Lionsgate, which in normal times may have gotten to the project, could not compete. It became a perfect storm, says one insider, that would have not happened a year ago. So because they couldn't really make a deal, like, no, we got theatrical window for you, but they're like, no, we don't want it. We want to go straight. Let's get this over with and just get it straight to streaming. And Netflix is thinking ahead. As this even says here, yes, they're overpaying, but Netflix is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. They're one streaming executive familiar with the deal. It takes a proven theatrical commodity off the board and puts it in their pocket. And it's another way that they re-educate audiences to think of streaming and their company above other studios. And that's not just from a watching standpoint. It's talent. Like, damn, we should just Knives Out. Look what Rian Johnson just did. Hey, Netflix, we were thinking this, but would you like to have it? Now they're going to get those deals even quicker, and they're going to come to them to potentially get more franchises in the future because they need them, let's be honest. For others, the deal shows the leverage sought-after talent is enjoying at this moment thanks to the competition from streamers. If you're talent right now and you want to bet on yourself, it's a pretty good time. So yeah, but despite the price tag, the deal made sense in several levels. They get an instant proven franchise with sequels to a film that grossed $311 million globally, and it can only weakens a theatrical competitor. So the film made $311, and so they thought, well, for two more, we'll pay you $469. And Netflix doesn't get any revenue on that; they just get subscribers. The business model is insane, guys. I'm not good at the economics to understand how that's working. But two films, $469. So you're talking what, $230 something, $230 million each. 230, what, 30 and a half? That's a lot. $230 million for a film that costs $40. I mean, bravo, Rian Johnson. He doesn't even have to write a more expensive film. You'd think that would have been a 3-year deal. Like we want a trilogy, a new trilogy of Knives Out films for $500 million. I would have thought that was a better deal. And then they could have each made 150 or whatever for 3 movies that, would be small budgeted, etc. Then you'd think that might be worth it. But 2 films off of 40 million budgets for 469 million, it just shows you how insane streaming is getting. And I don't know how long this is going to last, but it just shows the amount of money that these streamers are getting month to month. There's clearly a revenue that's worth it. That all the studios are basically ignoring the theatrical, and they're excited to get rid of theatrical so they can go to Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, HBO Max. They realize now, damn, Netflix is really owning us, so let's take our IPs and everything we've build our own streaming platforms. Is really what's happening now, as you all know. But it just shows $469 million for 2 Knives Out movies. I'm still in disbelief. But man, Rian Johnson, you did it. Guys, if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and tune in tonight. We'll be live. Smash the like button, leave a comment down below, and join us live tonight, 9 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday here, Eastern Time, live on Popcorn Planet. And I'll put the link right there. We're going to talk Ray Fisher. Got some Ray Fisher fans who are going to approach me. Lots more to talk about, so join us tonight.